Here it is in the middle of July and I haven't had my boat out yet, so I'm going to get it ready and make a little video of that. You can see everything pretty much finds its way into the boat or around the boat through fall and winter. So the first step is to clean it up. Alright, got the boat cleaned out, vacuumed out. Now, before I run it for the first time this year, I always run it in my driveway before I take it out. I'm going to go ahead and take the two plugs on the pump and put some gear lube in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take these custom plugs out. You can see I got O-rings in there. And I'm going to take a thick weight gear oil and I'm just going to shove the tube in one side. It doesn't really matter which one. You want to make sure it comes out the other. You can see that this thing is actually, it stayed full through the winter time. Those oil seals in there must be working. So I'll go ahead and plug that up. I'll go ahead and grease up these zerks for the bearing in the pump and on the U-joints. Some people say to only grease these once a year. I don't know if it really matters too much either way, but it's the beginning of the year, so I'll give them a little shot. So here I'm greasing my U-joints and the main bearing in my pump, and you can see this grease coming out of this top zerk. Well, this U-joint happens to have two zerks on it, so I'll show you what happens here. See that zerk's bad. It's supposed to be like a one-way check ball in there. So I'll go ahead and change that zerk out. That zerk is huge. Look at the size of it.
Sure it is. Do you have one like that?
I don't know.
Let's take it out and see, huh?
You can see the top of the zerk is deformed. It may have got hit with a hammer or who knows what happened there. So that'll definitely need to be replaced. So I found a zerk that fit in the old zerk drawer. So we'll go ahead and send her home. You don't need to go too tight with those. You can see it's actually not binding on that clip now. The other one was really driven home for whatever reason. Holding like a champ. I'll just wipe off the excess grease there and move on to the next step. Alright, we've checked the oil, it's good. Now I'm going to hook up the hose and run the boat to mix the oil up before I drain it out for its spring oil change. So before I run it, the first thing I do is I close this valve. And I'm going to take my cap off, my T here. You can see all the coolant in there. It's not a whole lot, so I'm going to flush that out of there. Here's my hose connection. Keep the hose up where the drive shaft ain't gonna hit it. I'm going to turn on the water and we'll fire it up. Alright, the hose is on. We got good flow coming out of both exhaust manifolds. And I'm going to go ahead and pump the carb a bunch of times, see if we can get this thing to start up. It has been started since 2011. So that valve there is basically plumbed to the back of the pan, and temporarily we have another hose going out the transom, and we're draining out the oil. Every springtime without fail I repack my bearings because I don't want to be that guy on the side of the freeway. Here I'm going to take off the bearing body, basically just hitting it. Keep working until it comes off.
Is there any water in there?
Yeah, you can see a little bit of water intrude into the outside of this. So it's kind of the reason why I do this every year. the inside bearing and seal. So here to drive out the inner bearing and the seal, I'm just using a bushing driver with an attachment on it that fits on the inside of the bearing. I'll give her a couple taps.
Fall.
And there you have it. So I was able to get out the bearing and the seal without damaging them. Go ahead and repack these and put it back together.
Yeah.
So I wiped out all the old grease inside the hub, wiped off the inner bearing. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in this grease packer now. Pack it. Works pretty good if you step on it, but that's usually good enough. And there you have it, a packed bearing. Here I've wiped out the seal. I'm just going to tap that back in. So it's flush. Here's the spindle. I just take a little grease, throw it on there on the seal surface. And at this point everything's all covered. And now I'm going to pack the front bearing and put the washer and nut on. Bullet trailer application like this, best to use marine grease. Here you see it coming out. I'll stop there and put the cap on. Here's the rear shackle for the leaf spring and the front shackle pivot point. I've wiped off the zerks and I'm going to go ahead and shoot a little bit of grease up in these.